not safe turn. No, that's bad. Needs an ace or a queen. 7 of spades doesn't help him. And that unlucky 6 on the turn will see the short stack private pile hit the rail in 6th spot. $51,000 and change for him. Leaves us 5-handed. And the players would make a deal. So a 5-way chop would give Renz the biggest slice of the money pie. And the others approximately the same amount. We'll clarify the amounts for you later, but just to let you know, they did do a chop around about this point 5-handed. Marco will open raise here with ace-king. Obviously, as I tend to say, every time we do a Sunday Million show, the amounts of money involved are so large. Everybody guaranteed a 6-figure sum here. And for most of these players, by far their biggest payday, so you can understand the deal. Plack folds 7s there, which was a kind of a tough decision, I think. Renz continuing his aggression, not in a great shape here, though. Marco with a good spot to make some real money. Oh, well, if you're aggressive and then you hit cards, you're really dangerous. Renz catches the 7. Looks like maybe his name is on the Sunday Million title this week. No help on the river for Marco. And he will be the next to fall victim to the Dutch juggernaut that is Renz 02. $118,000 for Marco. Really serious money. And a great performance from him. Reminding you that players have chopped up the bulk of the money, but they are still playing for $30,000 for first spot and, of course, the Sunday Million title on their Poker CV. Lots up for grabs. Ship This Please, the least likely to get it. He is the short stack. And also, he's been set up here with a mini cooler in the blinds. Nothing he can do, but he's in terrible trouble. His ace-10 dominated by the hand of the night, ace-jack. And he's found a way out of it. 10 on the flop. Renz with a king to catch or a jack for the resuck. Anything on the river? Nothing. So Ship This Please, the first one to really best Renz in a showdown situation. Gets back into this. He's now in 2nd spot. Still 4-handed, still 400,000, 800,000 as we watch hand 88. And 2 red aces for Plack 20. How sweet they must look at this stage. And this is where you don't want to min-raise and get 2 folds. That makes you cry, that kind of thing. Zagaboy will probably give him some action, though. He looks like he's going to be the unlucky one. Yeah, he does. He shoves, and I think perfectly good shove against the button raise. He's going to do that all day long. Just on this occasion, he has run into a huge hand. Plack 20, a big favourite here to knock Zagaboy out. And, well, 10 on the flop and a couple of clubs, so a little bit of daylight for Zagaboy and a sweat. And no longer is there a sweat. Well, sweating the river, I guess, but looks bad for him. Yeah, great crack of the aces from Zagaboy. What timing. Up to almost 22 million. Plack crippled by that hand. And he would actually go out the very next hand. That would have been the key one for him. Extremely unlucky. But 4th spot, can't really be unlucky in the Sunday Million, can it? It's come through so many players. And he has claimed $130,000 for Plack 20. And we're 3-handed. Renz 02, still the big chip leader. Zagaboy in 2nd spot. Ship This Please, the short stack. And he's the one that opens on the button. Now, if Renz's previous player's got anything to go by, this will be a re-raise. It is. Doesn't do the big set Ship This Please all-in re-raise, which is interesting. We've seen him do that a couple of times with shorter stack players. This is just a small re-raise. And Ship This Please will shove over the top, and Renz will call. Interesting that Renz didn't do that when he was going to also call the shove. Perhaps maybe he figured he could induce something weird, but interesting hand to do it with pocket 5s. Anyway, we are racing, and Ship This Please is the all-in player and needs to improve. It hasn't happened yet. The 5's still holding strong, and we're going to be heads up. We are. Ship This Please with the unimproved ace-10 out in 3rd spot, and we'll be heads up for the Million title.
Growing up on the circuit, everyone wanted to offer me advice. When to bet, when to fold, when to raise, what to wear, what to eat. But there was one piece of advice that took me to a new level.
Daniel, don't do anything stupid.
At PokerStars.com, there's a tournament starting every second. Develop your game at the world's largest poker site.
We're heads up for the Sunday Million. That's where we'd like you to be, and we're giving you a free shot at it. There's your password to take part in the online poker show free roll, where you could win a seat to the Million. The password is Thebby. Thebby. It's on the 7th of April at 3:35 Eastern Standard Time. You'd love to be where these two are. Ren02 from Holland and Zagaboy from Brazil, playing for $30,000 and the Sunday Million title, as well as all of the money they've got locked up. This is going to be fun. Now remember, Rens has been pushing Zagaboy around all final table. Zagaboy's going to have to change things up. He's going to have to do something different to change the dynamic between them. He also has a very large chip deficit to worry about. Ace-10 is a good hand, though. Certainly one you happily get that stack in with. He's gone for the small re-raise, though, which you can understand the logic of, providing he's never folding, I think. Just, he knows how aggressive Rens is, and perhaps just trying to get him to shove a much worse hand. As it happens, Rens has a pocket pair, and that does go in. And hopefully Zagaboy's instantly calling this. I'm already worried by the delay. Please don't fold the Ace-10. Heads up for the monies. Call the money in the middle, or you could win. There you go. Zagaboy puts the money in, and we'll have a race. And if the sixes hold, this one's over in short order. Rens, who looks like his name's been on this title for a while. Well, interesting flop, because now there's a lot of outs for Zagaboy. And the jack is one, counterfeits Rens' sixes. And Zagaboy will double up. And after being beaten up by Rens, when there were more players involved, he wins the first encounter of the heads up and takes the chip lead. So this one has turned around very, very close in stacks as we reach hand 103 of the final table. Ace-King for Zagaboy and King-7 off for Rens, which he'll flat call with. And this is an interesting flop. This could get Rens into trouble. It is a monotone flop, which I guess gives a slightly different dimension, but both of them have top pair, as you can see. Zagaboy dominating the situation. Rens will check. Zagaboy will make the bet with top pair, top kicker, which is, you know, strong to quite strong. Ren's thinking about his best course of action here. Stacks are slightly weird. He'll think he's in front, or he certainly should think he's in front with top pair. But does he want to get money in here if he raises? Well, he does raise. Now, the interesting thing is Zagaboy hasn't been aggressive in the hands with Rens at all. I mean, he does flat call. I was going to say, if he does raise again, then maybe Rens can get away from it. And that card will kill the action. 9 of spades on the turn. I think that stops this being a huge pot. Could be wrong, we'll see. But especially with the flat call, looks like either of them could have a big spade here. Rens has to decide. He's the aggressor from the flop. Nothing new in the battles between these two. He almost always is the aggressor. And he'll just keep firing. Why wouldn't you? It's a funny one, though, because he's sort of turning it into a bluff at this point with the 4 spades out there. But it does work out. It's like he can see the cards. Zagaboy folds the best hand to Rens again. It will not make happy watching for Zagaboy this. I mean, the massive money that he's won in the second place in the Sunday Million out of over 8,000 players will help him watch it back. But just a couple of these hands might be a little bit annoying. He's still in it, though. Still well in it. Not that much between the 2 chip stacks, and heads up means everything to play for. And this is a great flop for Rens, middle pair and the heart flush draw. No help for Zagaboy, so can't see this being a huge pot. He will make the continuation bet, which is perfectly reasonable. I wonder how Rens feels about his opponent, because he has got him to fold so many times. You know, if you could get that message to Zagaboy, I think Rens would just show him a huge amount of respect. But Rens will continue the aggression, and pretty standard with a hand this strong heads up. And the stacks are not exactly super deep. He would happily get it in here, but Zagaboy again has to fold. And this time it was to a real hand, but imagine yourself sitting in Zagaboy's seat. Very difficult to know when you're being run over and when you're facing a real hand. All you know is that you keep having to fold, which is gross. 2-1 chip lead then for Rens. Zagaboy has the button. We're playing the viewer and commentator friendly 500,000 million chip blind level. So Zagaboy with, well, 2 million in the middle. That's 2 big blinds. 25 big blinds behind. 27 big blinds effective stack. Boom, straight off. There you go. And the 9-7. He's opened this up. And Renz will re-raise. And again, I suspect this might work. Zagaboy must be so frustrated with him. But you kind of have to change things up. You have to open tighter or be prepared to make a 4-bet bluff or something. You've got to change something. If the same thing keeps happening over and over again, it's tough for Zagaboy. He's just being a little bit run over for a long time against this player. Or maybe this is a way for him to get back into this. Great matchup here for him with Ace-King versus the Ace-10. I can't imagine Renz is going to be sluggish to 3-bet this. He's 3-bet basically when it's his turn so far at this final table. So now he has a really very strong hand head up. He does 3-bet. I guess Zagaboy's problem here a little bit is that he hasn't really fought back at all. So when he does fight back now, he's not going to get action from as many hands. Renz can sort of fold some medium-ish type stuff quite safely. Don't think of fold Ace-10 though. That would be a bit extreme. Yeah, in goes the money from Zagaboy. And Renz makes the call, more than happy to race here. Unfortunately for him, he is not racing, as you can see. Dominated by the very pretty-looking Ace-King of Spades. But if he can find a way to bring that 25% home, he will be the champion. Nothing on the flop. If Zagaboy's Ace-King holds, then we'll continue to play. 6 of Spades as a safe card. So just a 10 on the river changes this, and it doesn't arrive. And Renz will have to win this one all over again. Zagaboy back up to almost equal in chips. And on we go. Is that a turning point for Zagaboy? Well, he's managed to chip up a little bit more in the intervening hands before we rejoin the action. Hand 128. Renz on the spot he hasn't been accustomed to for a long time in this tournament, not leading it. And not letting up on the aggression either. Not concerned by the fact that he's now second in chips. And Zagaboy will flat call, and we really haven't seen him do anything too much different, have we? Well, not a good flop for Renz. Have things turned around here? It's a harder hand for Zagaboy to play than Renz, though, just because he's out of position and he has a decent but not monster hand. Renz could possibly have thought about checking that back, but decides he'll just bet. And Zagaboy will just call. So we've got almost 10 million in the middle. Renz in bad shape. That's a bit of an action killer for both these hands, I think. Flush might worry them a bit. The king might worry them a bit. I can't really see an argument for Renz doing anything other than checking this back. I mean, if he bets, you know, it's the classic getting folds from everything he's already beating. And I don't know if we'll see any action on the river. The 9 obviously doesn't change anything. Still got 10 million in the middle. And check it goes. So the kicker will play. And the King of Hearts saves Renz from losing any more.